Jefferson City could be getting a new high school.
Mid-Missouri is set to conduct an emergency disaster exercise.
The possible motive behind the Ohio State University attack and how students are moving forward. Good morning, it's Tuesday, November 29th, 2016. I'm Megan Judy.
And I'm Emma Reckenberg.
And I'm Tim Schmidt. We'll have a little bit of sunshine today, and then kind of that cold weather sets back in for Wednesday and the rest of this week. Really interesting weather day yesterday. We had tornadoes up in Iowa, of all things. There's just enough spin up in the atmosphere with that wind that was coming in out of the south. Kind of a cloudier day. We did have a little bit of shower activity here or there. Even the morning had a little bit of thunderstorm activity. That's not going to happen today. I think it's more sunshine in store for us. Temperatures right now, those are in the lower 40s. So it is a colder morning start, but out across the state we will pick up on certainly more sunshine throughout the day. Here's a look at our current temperatures as we go throughout the morning. I think we're actually going to start warming back into the upper 50s, maybe even low 60s in some areas. I have Columbia up near 61 this afternoon. It will probably start clouding up, though, here later in the afternoon and early evening. That's signs of that next cold front to come on through late tonight.
11 people were hospitalized yesterday after an attack at Ohio State University.
Police say 18-year-old OSU student Abdul Razak Ali Ratan drove his car onto a sidewalk full of pedestrians, then stabbed several people with a butcher knife. The 11 people hurt in the attack were a mix of OSU students, staff, and faculty. Fortunately, none of them suffered life-threatening injuries. Ratan was fatally shot by a campus police officer just minutes after the attack. Ratan's motive for the attack remains unknown, but police say it was intentional. Some are saying the attack could be an act of terror. According to federal officials, Ratan said in a Facebook post he was sick and tired of seeing fellow Muslims killed and tortured. Ratan, a Somali immigrant, posted to social media shortly before the attack, urging America to stop interfering with foreign countries, especially those with Muslim populations. A prayer vigil was held last night for the victims of the Ohio State attack. Religious leaders were available for counseling. Others chose to leave flowers at the site of the attack. Students will return to class today.
Missouri State Emergency Management Agency, or SEMA, is conducting an emergency disaster exercise later today. KOMU 8's Anthony Romano is live in Jefferson City to tell us how officials are preparing.
Well, today's disaster exercise comes as part of the 3rd annual Children and Youth in Disasters Conference held here at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. And the purpose of all of this is to practice reuniting children with their parents or guardians following separation in an emergency type situation. And now later today, conference attendees will evacuate this hotel and head to a local church where they'll simulate different roles and situations. All the participants in this drill have a background in working with children, including first responders and child care professionals. One of the organizers says this new type of drill is the first of its kind.
This is new in Missouri, and to my knowledge, I don't know of any place else that has done this. So we think we're breaking some ground, but mostly it's just helping us do better for the families of Missouri when there is a real disaster.
Hendricks told me she doesn't expect this exercise to impact anybody who is not already involved with the drill. Roughly 150 people will be participating in this exercise starting at 11:30. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Anthony Romano, KOMU 8 News.
A new high school could be coming to Jefferson City. Community members have voiced opinions how taxes, academics, and athletics would be affected. At Jefferson City School board members discussed it. Superintendent Larry Lithicum says the main goal is to see what's best for the students. For the board, that translates into developing a meticulous financial plan for a new high school and renovations to the existing one. The board estimates the new school would mean a tax increase of roughly $26 per month for the average household to fund the $130 million price tag during the next 3 years.
So it's definitely an increase, and we recognize that. We don't take it lightly. We're spending about $1,300 less on a per student basis than the state average. Our levy's in the bottom third at $369. I know Columbia's like at $604, and that's a big difference.
The board says the funding plan would help with elementary and middle school facilities in 2020. Dr. Linthicum concluded by asking for people's trust to follow a culture of continuous improvement for the Jefferson City school system. Fire crews on Columbia's Hanover Boulevard were called to a fire for about 2 hours last night. Officials say they were responding for a call of smoke and fire, but wouldn't confirm either of those. Firefighters and police officers were going in and out of the home, and according to dispatch logs, they were called around 7:45 last night. The fire department says it will release more details on the event later today. We've learned 2 girls originally from Columbia and Jefferson City died in an Indiana house fire last week. 4 sisters died in the fire, including 11-year-old Kenyana Davis, who was born in Columbia, and 5-year-old Kiani Welch, who was from Jefferson City. The house fire happened a week ago in Flora, Indiana. Their mother was hurt, along with 2 officers trying to save the girls. Investigators don't know how it started. They don't believe foul play was involved.
The driver accused in a deadly Chattanooga school bus crash last week will appear in court today. Jonathan Walker is charged with vehicular homicide, reckless driving, and reckless endangerment. 6 students were killed and 5 others remain hospitalized in the crash. Federal investigators say Walker was not on his designated route when the bus crashed and found no drugs or alcohol in his system. Schools and government offices in Cuba are closed today in honor of Fidel Castro. This marks the 2nd day in a row schools will be closed. Many Cubans have been flocking to Havana's Plaza of the Revolution to pay their respects to Castro, with lines stretching for hours. Tribute sites have also been popping up across the island.
After an obscenity-laced rant is caught on video, 1 passenger received an unprecedented punishment. What that punishment was, next.
Your children's health is important. Find out what One New Health Center is doing differently and what it means for your kids.
We're taking a live look over Columbia. Time now is 4:36. This is KOMU 8 News Today, coverage you can count on.
Live Doppler 8 First Alert Weather.
All right, welcome back. 4:39 is our time on this Tuesday morning. It's a live look over the Lake of the Ozarks. It's brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Conditions outside a little cooler this morning, all thanks to an open sky for the most of the state this morning, and At least as of now, our temperatures are going to get back into the 60s, low 60s that is. Take a look at the current temperature change compared to yesterday's temperatures almost 24 hours ago. You see 7 to 15 degrees colder outside compared to yesterday. So grab that jacket as you head out the door. Those temperatures right now, lower 40s. We're sitting at 43 in Columbia, 45 in Jefferson City, or 43 in Mexico, and down over the Lake Ozark, 42 degrees. The temperature track here into the afternoon does look like a pretty nice warm-up, actually, to more mild standards, and actually several degrees above normal for this time of the year. We're going to be almost about 5 to 10 in most areas. By the afternoon, rising to about 59 to 61 degrees in most of mid-Missouri. That wind's still out of the south as of now. It's going to make a little chilly. The wind chill outside going to be anywhere from about, let's say 36, 37 degrees to about 42 this morning. So kind of a chilly morning start. The wind's not going to be out of the south by the afternoon, though. It will shift out from the west. That's signs of things to change here this afternoon. That change of air mass going to go from the south to the west. And as it does so, it's going to start to bring in some cooler air with it, too, even into the afternoon and evening. We'll look at that into tomorrow. Very, very windy conditions. And our satellite and radar still with a few of those clouds out to our south. A little developing storm system down that way. It's going to stay to the south. There's a big bubble of high pressure in between Columbia and, let's say, Minneapolis up that way. There's a huge storm system just kind of spinning around up over the Dakotas and Minnesota at this time, though. That's going to bring in that colder air late tonight and into tomorrow. We'll look at our precipcast. Those clouds kind of thin out here through the afternoon. By noon and 4 o'clock, we'll call it mostly sunny this afternoon. Temperatures rising back into the low 60s. But then after tonight, it clouds up, and look at some of the cloud cover that rolls in for tomorrow morning. Could have a few pockets of drizzle by tomorrow morning, too. The temperatures are going to be too warm for any of that frozen precip, though. Into the afternoon, 3 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies, and that west wind starting to kick up anywhere from about 5 to 15, maybe even 25 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. So significantly chillier tomorrow. Today's that last day of the mild weather, at least for some time. 42 will be your temperature at 7 a.m. We're up to 57 by noon. That was topping out near 67 degrees this evening and tonight, partly cloudy. And it looks like that cold air starts setting in. Chilly tomorrow with that 10% for a little bit of drizzle here through the morning and afternoon. Temperature's only going to rise up to about 45 degrees, and we're staying in the 40s, low 40s, in fact, for the rest of this week. And even into the weekend, looks like we're going to hover up near almost 50 degrees. A little developing storm system builds up from the south and kicks over the Ohio River Valley here for the upcoming weekend. We're going to get a little taste of that. We'll be on the backside of that, so we'll see what happens with that kind of with that rain that moves on in. Right now, I only have it at 20% chances, and I have it as rain. It's not going to be frozen. Neither is it going to be into the middle part of next week with that little system for Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be a little bit more back to normal here for this time of the year. Those are going to be in the mid to upper 40s.
One new Mid-Missouri Health Center is looking to provide better care for kids. KOMU 8 Hannah Finley is live in Jefferson City to tell us what this could mean for your family.
The new Children's Health Center will hold a ribbon-cutting ceremony today from 11 to 1. There will be an open house where families can come in and tour the facility. The center has been open since October, and one supervisor says it's seen a lot of success so far. The center offers a variety of services ranging from children's psychiatry to family therapy. It also partners with the Community Health Center and has a pediatrician and nursing staff on site.
It's definitely unique to Cole County. There's no other facility like this where there's kind of a whole person wellness approach. We don't want to just treat the body or just treat the mental state, but we want to combine it as a whole person.
The supervisor says the center helps make health care more convenient for families. The center offers care for children ages 12 and younger. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Hannah Finley, KOMU 8 News.
Jefferson City recently learned how it's stacked up against other cities when it comes to its budget and city employees. The city council and mayor held a work session last night to review the results of a survey done by an outside consulting firm. The firm recommended the city decrease pay ranges, but not for any specific employee or job. The firm also recommended the city increase vacation time and sick leave.
Hope would be that we council accepts their report, Austin Peters' report, adopt the pay plan, which means that's really where we would be headed for the future.
The firm will continue to meet with city employees this week to discuss the results.
A man is dead after being shot by an off-duty officer outside an Illinois Walmart. Police say the officer was shopping in Cahokia when he shot the man Monday. The suspect, however, still managed to get into a car and drive away, only to wreck that car after driving a mile. Police say the suspect was arrested but later died at the hospital. Still no word on why he was wanted by the police. Officials in Illinois are looking for 2 suspects in connection to a shooting near the Swansea Metrolink station. Police say a man standing on the Metrolink platform was shot in the face around 8 p.m. last night. The victim was rushed to the hospital. His condition is unknown.
A memorial to the 19 firefighters who lost their lives fighting a 2013 wildfire near Yarnell, Arizona, is set to open. A private dedication will be held first for families and friends and the media today, and the memorial will open to the public on Wednesday. The Yarnell Hill fire was one of the greatest loss of life for firefighters in a wildfire since 1933. A tribute wall will allow visitors to leave mementos. Delta Airlines took the unusual step of banning a passenger for life after he was caught on video unleashing an obscenity-laced rant. In the video, the male passenger berated and insulted fellow passengers who voted for Hillary Clinton. Delta now says it should have removed that passenger rather than letting him fly. The CEO apologized Monday and offered refunds to customers on board. A passenger on board a United Airlines flight is in police custody today after pulling open the emergency exit door and jumping out of the plane on arrival at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, Texas. The incident happened just as the plane arrived from New Orleans. It's still unclear why the woman jumped out of the plane. The FBI is no longer part of the investigation.
Domino's Pizza is getting into the holiday spirit.
How your pizza delivery could come with antlers.
And I guess you could call it déjà vu after yet another law enforcement officer finds mustard in their drink.
Welcome back. Here's a check of our weather on your 8s this morning. We're tracking in some colder air. Today is probably the last day where we're going to have temperatures in the 60s for quite some time. Just looking back at the numbers and how December or early December kind of works, there's occasionally those touches back into the 60s. It just doesn't happen all that often. So this is probably the last time we're going to get up that warm here, at least in the foreseeable future, at least in the long-range forecast. So it's all happening as a big upper-level storm system's over the Dakotas and Minnesota at this time. It's just spinning around. It's cut off. It's occluded, as we like to say in more meteorological terms. Eventually, though, that thing starts moving eastward a little bit, and as it does, it drags in some cold, cold air for tomorrow. We're talking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, not to be in the 60s, but to be in the lower 40s with morning lows for the rest of the week back in the 20s. Today's temperatures right now, 43 in Columbia. We're at 42 in Kirksville, 40 out in Kansas City. A little warmer down to the south and east where we're still at 51 in Cape Girardeau. The skies, they're partly cloudy in most areas. I do expect sunshine to develop here throughout the morning and afternoon, and a lot of it up until more clouds move in tonight. We'll look at our day planner today. 42 will be your temperature out the door, 57 by noon. I have us topping out near 61 degrees. Winds will be out of the south for a majority of the day, then out of the west and northwest for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it's colder with temperatures only in the lower and middle 40s.
A study done by MU researchers found an increase in bullying among students with disabilities. The survey found the students being victimized are often kids with emotional, behavioral disorders and kids who lack social and communication skills. The study observed 6,500 students during a 3-year time period. The study also found higher rates of bullying in elementary and high school, with a decrease in middle school.
Students with disabilities experience higher levels of victimization over time. And this is the first time we've been able to demonstrate that not only are they experiencing higher rates of victimization at one time point, they're experiencing higher rates of victimization over several time points, and that discrepancy isn't decreasing.
A new Missouri law will go into effect next year, setting up a clear protocol for students, teachers, and other faculty to be held more accountable for reporting bullying. Domino's Pizza in Japan appears to be getting in the holiday spirit.
CNN's Jeannie Moose tells us how pizza delivery guys could be sporting antlers.
Who needs reindeer?
Rudolph, with your nose so bright.
To deliver presents when they can deliver pizza. Domino's in Japan says it's training reindeer at a driving school to deliver pizza in one of Japan's coldest, snowiest regions.
If a reindeer runs properly, it can go as fast as 80 kilometers per hour. It's especially fast on snow, as though it's equipped with snowshoes.
Yeah, well, if reindeer ever deliver pizza at 50 miles an hour, Domino's should expect lawsuits.
Ho, ho, wow.
Grandma, watch out!
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
The trainers seem to be having trouble reining in their pizza delivery reindeer, which would be equipped with GPS devices so customers can check on their progress. So how do you say publicity stunt in Japanese?
Publicity stunt. 宣伝行為.
Domino's is no stranger to marketing ploys. Take the edible box Domino's UK dreamed up for April Fools. Just last month, Domino's in New Zealand demonstrated the pizza delivery drone. It flew to the appointed address and lowered a pizza. Company officials in New Zealand say that in the next couple of years, drones could make up 25% of deliveries. And before the drone, Domino's in Australia presented
the big day arrived.
The pizza delivery robot. With a top speed of about 12 miles per hour, it can't take to the highway, but it can chat with customers and dodge obstacles. From high-tech to low-tech. Is that tomato sauce making Rudolph's nose red?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Jeannie.
Demand for LL Bean's iconic duck boots continues to surge, so the company is kicking it up a notch to meet demand. LL Bean has leased a larger building and plans to install a third injection molding machine to manufacture the rubber soles. It's also hiring 100 more workers in the new year to make the boots. The boots have gone on back order due to popularity during the past 2 holiday seasons. Now that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are over, it's time for Giving Tuesday. After a long holiday weekend of shopping and deals, today's the day when Americans are urged to volunteer or make donations to local, national, and international charities. Most charities generate a vast majority of their contributions at the end of the year, so Giving Tuesday has opened the door to a more organized effort on a specific day. Time Inc. rejected a $1.8 billion takeover offer. It reportedly came from a trio of billionaire investors. The bid comes on the heels of Time's declining print advertising revenue and hope to reposition itself for the digital age. A spokesperson declined to comment on the offer in what was described as, quote, speculation. A McDonald's worker is out of a job and under criminal investigation.
NBC's Tom Wyneck explains how it all started after a police officer said he didn't relish finding mustard in his soda.
It's more than these arches that are golden at this North Topeka McDonald's.
I certainly wouldn't want mustard in my Dr. Pepper.
Take a look. A Topeka police officer found mustard in his Dr. Pepper when he went through the drive-thru Friday night, and it's left a foul taste in the mouths of customers.
They're supposed to be looking out for the community and doing their job, and they get a break and want something to eat and drink. Yeah, you know, it's perfectly natural to get what you paid for, and certainly not mustard in your Dr. Pepper.
The McDonald's owners tell me they are shocked by the isolated actions of an employee and that this employee no longer works for their organization. However, this extra ingredient isn't going to deter this woman from getting her fast food fix.
I was shocked because I didn't think anyone would do that, but it is the closest, one of the closest restaurants to my works, and it's cheap, so.
So weird. A similar incident happened 2 weeks ago to a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper.
State emergency officials are preparing for a disaster. Find out how they could be keeping your family safe.
Time now is 4:57. You're taking a live look over Jefferson City. This is KOMU 8 News Today, coverage you can count on.